Then Frank Sartor joins up with the Greens to stop a beachfront car park. But is it a beach?
You seriously can't look at that and say it's not beachfront.
It's not.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot, so the Joni Mitchell song went. Well, almost 40 years since that song was written, residents of Brighton-Le-Sands are worried that Rockdale Council is about to do the same. A huge row has developed on the foreshores of Botany Bay over plans for a multi-million-dollar car park to be built on the sand dunes. It's a row which has raised questions about who the car park is actually for, and which also appears to have turned former Planning Minister Frank Sartor into a greenie. Sharon O'Neill reports.
It's the middle of a hot Sunday at Brighton-Le-Sands, and the former Minister for Planning, Frank Sartor, has come to the beach wearing a slightly different hat.
That's 15 to there.
When was the last time you protested against a development?
Oh, it goes back a few years, but I was a very good protester.
What's being proposed is against the public interest.
Mr Sartor is here today to lead a protest against Rockdale Council's decision to build a car park on the sand dunes at Brighton-Le-Sands. It's a decision that has resulted in some new alliances.
It's not often that I appear on the same platform as the Greens.
And one that has some residents deeply suspicious about what's motivating the local council.
I believe they want a car park on the beach, so when the Labor Party have their meetings, that a lot of the overweight politicians won't have to walk back to the car park in Brighton. And they're just too lazy to walk across the road.
In October last year, Rockdale Council voted to build a 110-space car park and boardwalk on these sand dunes at Lady Robinson's Beach at a cost of more than $6 million.
I've never seen a decision like this. Even when I was being attacked by all sorts of people in my days as Planning Minister, I've never ever had something like this come past me. This is a crazy decision.
If you allow this car park, what is next?
Last Sunday, hundreds of local residents gathered at the beach, clearly angry that the council was pushing ahead with a plan to build a car park so close to the beach.
I've lived in this area for 45 years. I've seen all the sand disappear from the beaches right down from Dolls Point to Monterey. If those sand dunes are removed, you've got to lose all the sand also. I think that's the only thing that saves the beach here at Brighton.
Council has to put money away every year for a sand re-nourishment program. So by disrupting that very narrow dune system, we are going to impact on the immediate environment and maybe jeopardise the stability of the Grand Parade, which is a very major thoroughfare.
We learnt this lesson 50 years ago. You don't build on sand dunes.
There should be a comprehensive traffic and parking study done for the Brighton area.
Shane O'Brien is one of 5 ALP councillors from Rockdale. But while his colleagues voted with the Liberal Party councillors to support the car park development, he did not.
Well, the car park's going to be built over sand dunes along a beach that's already had a lot of construction done on it. We already have erosion problems further down the beach in the ward that I represent. And it goes against the council's plan of management. This is actually Crown land, and council has a plan of management which it has to have as part of the Crown Lands Act. And it says there shouldn't be any new car parks built on Cook Park, which is what this land is known as.
No, it doesn't. That's selective reading from one of the opponents. They need to read the whole document.
So this boardwalk obviously stays?
Yes.
The Labor Mayor of Rockdale, Bill Saravinovski, is an enthusiastic advocate of the car park, and this week he arranged for Council General Manager Chris Watson and a local resident to help him put the case in favour of the development.
Over the last 25 years, the local government, state government and federal government have spent millions of dollars improving Brighton, and not only Brighton but also the Cook Park, and we're encouraging more and more people to come to this area. Unfortunately, there's no parking.
Mr Saravinovski says the car park will solve a huge parking problem for visitors to the beach, and he's adamant the development will cause no environmental damage, although he insists the location for the new car park is not a beachfront.
We're not building on a beachfront. This is the propaganda that's been set out by the Greenies.
What would you describe it as?
No, this is passive recreation where it's been reclaimed land. We had storms over the years. In 1966, the council had to fill and put rock and soil. This all area here, as you can see, is all been enclosed. The public can't use this. There's rubbish, it's probably syringes, all been left lying here. The general public cannot use this area. It is not beachfront.
Opponents of the development argue that just a few hundred metres away is another car park that could easily be upgraded to provide the extra 100 spaces. But the Mayor says that's not an option.
The parking in the Boulevard car park was for the restaurant, people that go and support the restaurants and the business. This proposed car park is for the beachgoers, for the mums and dads that bring their kids to Brighton every Sunday to learn how to swim.
And the car park is in there.
But there are many amongst the protesters who are doubtful that the proposed car park is for the benefit of beach-going families.
So who do you think the car park will benefit?
People who want to go to this restaurant. That's it.
Do you think it's just for the restaurant's benefit?
I think it's just for the restaurant's benefit, yes, I do.
Just a short stroll along the boardwalk from the proposed car park is the Le-Sands restaurant, a popular venue for council functions, as well as fundraising dinners for both the Labor and Liberal parties.
I've been to fundraisers, but I've never done them there. I owe them nothing.
The car park is basically directly adjacent to a restaurant where fundraisers are held for both the Labor and Liberal parties, and council fundraisers are held at that restaurant. You know, people are sort of putting two and two together and saying the council is doing this for the business owners who will be the direct beneficiaries of this car park. I mean, is that your concern as well?
Look, I don't have any evidence that suggests that that is the case, but I can understand how people do get to that conclusion.
I don't know whether what the relationship is between this restaurateur and the councillors. I think it's good, but I don't know whether it's too good. I don't know.
Rubbish, absolute rubbish. This car park is for the beach. It has nothing to do with Le-Sands restaurant or Botany Bay restaurant. It has got nothing to do with any functions.
Have you had any discussions with the owners of those restaurants about this proposal?
No.
None at all?
None at all.
So they've not asked for
No, no.
And you've not made any promises to them about it?
No, absolute rubbish.
Local resident Alan Russell, who supports the proposal, agrees with the Mayor that it's the Sunday beachgoers who will benefit most from the car park.
And if they had a car park on the beach side, it'd fix up the problem with the nippers, kids visiting the beach, parents with prams, the whole bit. Absolutely perfect solution for that issue. And that's why I'm really strongly in favour of it. And really what they're going to cover up is, I mean, the nice greenery covers over what is underneath. If you walk along that footpath, you will see the rubbish and the pizza boxes and the bottles, and that brings the rats. And underneath those green trees is really just bad scrub with rubbish.
The protesters are now hopeful that the state government will intervene and stop the car park from being built. But Lands Minister Tony Kelly has given no indication that he will intervene. Ex-Minister Frank Sartor has no doubts what he would be doing if he was still in Cabinet.
A minister like me would have probably had the courage to call it in and kill it. But because I killed a lot of coastal developments when I was minister, which never got any press, by the way. But I think the minister could kill it. But the easiest thing is for the Minister for Lands to take it out because it's on Crown land. That's what he should do.
Put up a parking lot.
Thanks, Sharon.